So it's time for talking about Rekieta Law, Rickety Rackets, the Crackets. We've got a little bit of an update there. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this because last night, Nick Rekieta, who has not been on his channel or doing anything for a while, God knows what he's been doing. I think he's been having some issues. He's possibly going through, issues with his wife. There's all sorts of speculation on that. But once again, I thought, okay, there's not much law to talk about that here, so I'm not going to talk about it, right? Yeah, he's been out there doing whatever, God knows what, right? Colombian booger sugar, drinking, whatever the hell else he's doing. I guess he's vaping now because he's like he's a 2-year-old. So, he made a cope stream. And I wasn't going to say anything about it because it's just a cope stream, right? And of course, he said nasty things about everybody, right? He did ad hominem to literally everybody, right? Myself included. Everybody got ad hominem. Big surprise. Same old insults he's been chucking for the last 2 years. He's stale material, stale moves, right? Because he's on drugs, right? So a druggie lashing out and ad homineming you is nothing new. So I wasn't going to cover that. And I was just going to move on. But I said, okay, well, hold on. Alyssa reached out to me and she DM'd me and she sent me this. This is from Nickety Crackets here. You do not have permission to clip my locals exclusive content. Take it down tomorrow or I will. Also, I rescind any permission to clip my content. Play by fair use if you're going to do it. So this is a DM he sent to Alyssa Clips specifically. Right now, first of all, in case you don't know who is Alyssa Clips, Alyssa Clips is one of the many clippers of LawTube. Now she's kind of expanded. She's clipping non-LawTube people, but she and some others were coming out of the kind of the LawTube saga of clipping LawTubers, especially when there's drama. It used to be called DramaTube. People would just kind of clip the dramatic parts of LawTube, right, back from the Legal Bites saga or Farron or other stuff. So they did clip a lot of stuff. And for the most part, people were okay with it. But back in the day, there was a point at which my good friend Kurt, who's probably still in the chat, who I love you, Kurt, and Kurt's personal development arc is quite impressive, right? But there was a point at which my good buddy Kurt was did a little strikey poo on a clip channel, and it didn't go down that well. And a lot of people were very opposed to that strike, even if it was something that may have been okay, and even if it was something that a court could look at and they might rule in favor of Kurt. It didn't look bad because the rules of the internet, right? And striking smaller channels, striking somebody for clipping something that's publicly available on YouTube, right? It was definitely transformative. It would look like transformative content, not definitely, but look like it. So it didn't look good for Kurt. Now Kurt backed down, took down the strikes, and all's right with the world, and admitted the error of his ways, and had a real positive development arc here. And at that time, Nickety Crackets made several statements about how he feels about clipping, right? And I'm going to play just one of these statements for you before I get into the law or anything else here about this. So let's just play one. I think this was posted by Breaking Baldo News. So let's play this one here.
Alyssa Clips says, Nick Cuck agree. Alyssa, what am I agreeing to? Yes, I agree. What is it? For anybody out there who's like, I there was some talk I saw earlier about like me and Alyssa fighting or something. I don't know if Alyssa's fighting with me. I don't think so. But if she is, cool. I have no problem with Alyssa Clips or any other clip channel. Look, I talked about this the other day. There are some times when you go as a creator, you're like, fuck, clip channels, man. They make everything exist forever. Like sometimes you have that. But that's more lamenting the reality. Like clip channels make shit exist, or they'll take things and it's out of the context that I think it should be in or whatever, but people see things differently. That's okay. I'm not fighting with any clip channel. I'm not striking any clip channel. I'm not telling any clip channel what to do ever. ever, ever, ever. And Alyssa has always had and will always have my permission to clip the show, to clip the local streams, whatever she deems will be a good clip. That's it.
Always,
so,
forever.
Hopefully we can put that
forever
fucking shit to bed. I just
and ever.
People make a lot out of a little.
Oh, they're making so
but
much.
No, I have no problems with clip channels existing. I don't have any problem with what they do. So
there we go. So Nickety Crackets over here gave a permanent forever. I mean, did that sound like there's a caveat there? Did that sound like a caveat? Do you hear any exceptions to the rule there? Forever and for always. I swears it. Right? Well, clearly that's been rescinded, right? Because clearly forever and always isn't when it makes him look bad and isn't when he gets his coping stream exposed, right? And his kind of crackhead rants exposed. That was clearly a line too far. Now, I'm going to be fair to Jiminy Crackets over here. Here's the thing, and I'm going to be very fair to Nick. Technically, he's probably in the right about his paywalled content, okay? And Alex asked the question here. So the video, at least one of the videos that he was mad about was behind a paywall. Now, locals, or locals, as you might want to say, but although I do like my locals, but that's it. That's it. There's both the ability to sign up for a free account and sign up for a paid account. So you can do either. And creators create, just as I do, exclusive content just for locals. That's fine. However, if you're putting out content for free, I perceive it, and it's perceived much under fair use analysis, much differently than content you'd have to pay to sign up for. If you are distributing content that is paid, it's going to be a real hard case to win, right? A real hard case to win. So the specific stream that she clipped, the last one, was behind a paywall. So I think even Alyssa, in my conversations with her, acknowledges that. Alyssa's not like crazy, right? And she's very respectful. And she's also, by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Alyssa. She actually asks me before she clips a lot of my stuff. And she asked me exactly how I liked it, you know, what I'm okay with, what I'm not okay with, right? How long I'm okay with her clipping, like the length of the clip. So she's very thoughtful and respectful. So I want to say she goes above and beyond, in my personal opinion, right? But that said, if there was a court case, she'd probably lose, right? Because it was behind a paywall. That said, he didn't put that caveat before. And he always made it sound like he was going to be okay with everything, right? So it's like what was okay before. And by the way, what she'd been doing for months and months and months was now not okay. So it's interesting there. And there's a lot of other LawTube channels and other channels that are clipping. So what is going to happen to those other channels? There's like Will Heron. There's other channels that are out there clipping. What's going to happen to those guys? What's going to happen to those clippers? Yeah, Madcore says right here. What's up, Madcore? Good to see you, brother. When I used to stream, she would ask me as well. Exactly. And that's very respectful. And you know what? That's fucking awesome. Like, you don't have to ask, but I appreciate when people do ask. I'm like, thank you for asking. I really appreciate that. Sincerely. I mean, there's channels that clip me and they don't ask me, but I don't strike them, but I do appreciate, and I go out of my way to say thank you to them and give them credit and promote them. So I'm going to promote you. If you give me permission, I'll promote you. So hopefully that gives you views and that helps your clip channel. Right. But you know, if you're going to be a dick about it, then I'm not going to strike you perhaps, but you know, and also everybody's got different rules, right? So obviously, look, if something's behind a paywall, I think anybody would be reasonably mad about that. That's taking away your revenue, right? But if it's something that's out there on public locals or something that's out there on your public YouTube or your public Rumble, it's not behind any sort of gate or wall, it's fair game. That's my opinion. Potentially criminal for 5 so he can cry and be a pussy all he wants. He's a husk of his former self. She could transform it, and I bet Baldo would strike it. Yeah, and the thing is that it's still behind Sean. I mean, because it was is paid stuff. And even like I said, she acknowledges that. I think he'll be a tough time. But if it was transformative and it was free, let's say you put that up there as free content, not behind a paywall, I think he would still strike it. If it was a Rumble stream or a YouTube stream, he'd try to strike it because he's falling away from that, that I'm okay with other people making fun of me. I'm okay with people covering me. I mean, the whole saga of Sean is, he was okay with Sean making jokes here and there until he actually seriously covered his channel. And now he's like he's like fat bastard from, Austin Powers. He's like some morbidly obese, evil super villain, right? Like, and that's the thing. And I'm some like cartoonish, like one-eyed creature, right? That's out here doing vile crimes in Asia, even though people usually don't even get the right country that I'm in at the time correct. But whatever. We're all super villains, right? Horrible people. Well, another little comment too. I did see a little bit of a shadow of this coming. There was one clip I saw where he kind of insinuated the day might come, the D-Day might come, where he strikes all the Clippers. So here's this little comment on this one. I think this one was kind of very telling. And look at how he talks to Divinity.
Okay, that's a decent amount.
You
that's
realize that
not what you gave me the first.
The girth of mine is smaller than yours.
Yeah, clip that.
My favorite part about
Alyssa, I hope you're here, girl. That was funny.
My favorite part about all the clip channels is they all think they're safe. They're all like, oh yeah, Nick doesn't mind if I clip his show. And then one day the hammer's going to come down. All your channels are toast.
Nick's going to cuck himself. That would be wonderful.
One day you're going to settle all the family business, aren't you?
That'll be fine for me. I'm sure that won't hurt my image at all.
Not even a little bit, I'm sure. That would be awesome for us.
Well, your channels will all be dead, so no, it won't.
No, they won't. See, and this is okay. Sorry, I want to point out here when Nick's like, "Your channels will all be dead." It's like, motherfucker, you're not the only one being clipped. Like, there's other people being clipped, and I say that specifically because Nick is a giant Minnesota bundle of sticks. But that said, there's other people out there that they were covering and generating content off of, and etc. Right? It wasn't just him. Right? There were plenty of other people that were generating entertaining content out there in the world other than him, right? Their channels weren't 100% Nick all the time, although they were at a certain point a generous amount of Nick Rekieta. However, there are other folks out there, and in fact, nowadays there's people that are creating better content, right, and more entertaining content. So, in fact, I think there's a lot of channels that are more worthwhile to clip than Nick, right? And a lot of people have moved on to clipping other niches and other areas other than just clipping LawTube and LawTube alone. Right? Nick did, in fact, legally cook himself. Yes, it's true. It's true. Let's be fair mindset. This clip was when they were overwhelmingly clipping him. Yes, I get it. And this was a period of time where the Clippers were going crazy in that specific moment. But it wasn't both before and after. It wasn't exclusively him. And obviously they can move forward from him. So that's what I got on Nick. I think it's going to be a giant kind of lolcow saga. And once again, I don't care to respond to a lot of the ad hominem stuff because it's kind of boring, and it's just the same shit. But I think that Nick is going to make himself an embarrassment. And the other thing, too, is these principles he stood for, these libertarian principles. And I say because his application of libertarianism is a joke, right? Not that the concept is a joke, but just his application is a joke. It comes back to bite you, right? When you say there's no rules, and you say that's how it's going to be forever, and then all of a sudden there's rules and you're blocking people and you're striking people, things you said you'd never do, right? Oh, I'm going to block the nerds, right? Oh, it's just nerds. Says a guy who literally spent hours playing Dungeons and Dragons streams and painting 40K minis, which, by the way, what the fuck is wrong with being a nerd? There's no problem being a nerd, right? You should embrace that. It's good to have things you're interested in and passionate about. It's so weird he's going to try to pretend to be some sort of jock now. Like, bro, you were a male cheerleader. Like, really? Seriously?
Legal mindset. Legal mindset. Legal dick suckers, more like it.